Hey there, Libra. Welcome to your reading for November. This is your love bonus reading for November. I'm actually going to do, I don't know, I just haven't been feeling the love readings this month for some reason. And I just go with my intuition. But we're going to do a past, present, future for you. That's what I felt like I should do for you for whatever reason. And so that's what we're going to do here, Libra. And we're just going to see what comes up for you at this time in your love life. So let's see here, Libra. Libra, in your past position, you immediately start off with the not for you card here. So clearly, I feel some of you have decided that a past person is just not for you. I feel like a past person kind of like wasn't. I'm getting something about. It's funny because it's like a chessboard on here, Libra. On this card, it's kind of like a chessboard there, and I do feel like someone kind of like couldn't play nice or just like wasn't playing the same game with you in general here, and I feel that caused you to maybe move away from a person in the past. There's some sort of difference between like their future feelings and your future feelings as far as love is concerned. So if you're dealing with love, again, I feel like for some of you, it's like there's a difference between how they see love or something like that and how you see love in the future as well. Especially with this, you have this Two of Wands here, and in this bottom row, Two Wands, Ten of Pentacles to the Knight of Swords in your first diagonal. There's something about this Two of Wands that I just can't get over for some reason. We're going to talk about that in just a second. Sometimes when I read, usually when I read, I should say, in every single reading, there will be kind of like one card that really kind of catches my attention. There will be like one card that really speaks to me in the reading. And for you, it's the Two of Wands. Two Wands, I feel, is almost like your future focus, all the things that you desire to have in your life. I say that again because that Two Wands is going to that Ten of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles is everything you desire to have in your life. So there's, I think maybe what you've had a problem with is like finding a person who's on the same page, or, who has similar future goals as you do, or maybe there are certain things you desire to have in your life. And it's like finding that person who kind of fits in there could be a little bit of a challenge. Having said that, your first diagonal here is amazing. You have the Four Wands to the Ten of Pentacles to the Emperor. Definitely could be an Aries coming in for you if you are looking for love. So it could be an Aries. It could just be an Emperor person. I think that what you have to think about with the Emperor in a love reading like this is the Emperor is almost like a source of energy. And I don't want to jump too far ahead in the reading, but again, I feel like it makes sense. So he has water behind him here on the card. It's really hard to see on the Emperor because it's just like a little thin strip back there on the card of water. That water flows down to the Empress, and she is able to use that water, as basically energy. It kind of represents the flow of the universe. And when we have the Emperor and the Empress, it represents divine counterparts. For some reason, that's jumping out to me here. And again, it's popping into my head as important. In your first row here, you have the Four Wands, the Eight of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands. So I feel for a lot of you that it's like you are very focused with this Two of Wands energy. He is at the top of a castle on the Two of Wands, and he is looking off in the distance. He's holding the world in his hands as well. And the world in his hands here, Libra, can represent the fact that he could be kind of like thinking about all these opportunities, and there you go, all these opportunities, all these experiences that he has had in the world, and he could be kind of looking at those things with envy. He could be saying, like, he could be feeling like he's missing out, right? And I kind of get that feeling for some of you, but at the same time, I feel that for some of you, it's not really. I feel like you could be thinking that, like maybe you feel like you're too old or too young, or that you missed out on certain opportunities or whatever. But I don't think that's true. And the Two Wands is about taking the lead and really going out and kind of making things happen no matter what. You also have the Eight of Pentacles here, which is kind of like saying, no matter what, if you put the work in, you will be successful. So I feel that if you want to get married, or even if you don't want to get married, again, Four Wands can just be a commitment. It can just be you having a commitment with a person. It doesn't have to be marriage. It could just be also dating. Really, the Four Wands is a card of freedom. And so, it could be you being free to date or whatever it is that you desire. I just think in the past you put a lot of work in with a person here with these cards, and you could be looking back at that. You know, that could be something that's weighing on your mind is all the work that you put into relationships with the Eight of Pentacles, and the Two of Wands is kind of like saying that maybe you feel like you missed out on something because you put a lot of work in with a person. I don't really think that's true, Libra, obviously, but that could be where you're at. With the Four of Wands, you have the Temperance card. You always get fire in your readings. You have Strength, Emperor, and the Temperance card. Literally all three fire signs in your readings. If you're looking for love, it could be a fire sign that is coming in for you here with the Temperance card and also the Strength card and the Emperor. With the eight of Pentacles here, you have the Eight of Wands. Quick success coming in for you here. So I do feel like things are going to start moving forward very, very quickly. The Eight of Wands does represent a conclusion. So it's kind of like you've wrapped up all the work that you put into a past situation. I feel like a lot of you are moving past a past situation in love. With the Two of Wands, you have the Six of Swords. Exactly what I just said. It's like you're moving forward, moving on to calmer shores here. And I feel like that's a good thing. It's like you're moving towards, clearly, the Ten of Pentacles here. The Ten of Pentacles as your center card. Center card is the most important card in a 9-card spread as well, Libra. So I feel for a lot of you, it's kind of like you're moving towards this true happiness. Next, you have this beautiful Uncaging card here. So I feel like some of you are opening up. You know, this is like a heart, and it's in a cage. So I feel like for some of you, it's like your heart is being unlocked. But I feel like this is more you it's more you that is being unlocked with this energy. It's like if we are in the energy of love, then we very easily can attract love into our lives. So it's like if you're doing things that you love to do, it's much easier to attract love in the romantic sense because it's like you're giving off the energy of love. And that's like popping into my head here, Libra. With that beautiful Uncaging card, I feel like you are kind of in this very positive energy, like this very positive heart space. And because you're giving off that vibration, you could be attracting love into your life. You have the Five of Swords, the Ten of Pentacles, the Fool, and the Strength card here. The Five of Swords, I almost feel this is something that you are giving up, the Five of Swords energy. And the Five of Swords can be like trying to win at all cost. And, it doesn't really surprise me. I think that a lot of people are kind of enter into relationships like wanting to win, and it's more competitive. It's more like, how can I make sure this person doesn't leave me, or how can I make sure this person doesn't cheat on me, or whatever. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that, but it's like when we come at relationships with that energy, it's like we're coming at them in a more competitive type of energy, right? Which doesn't work in a relationship. You're supposed to be a team, right? So I feel like you're having that realization here. I say that because right next to it, you have the Knight of Swords as well. The Knight of Swords is going towards the Five of Swords here. And the Knight of Swords doesn't really necessarily represent coming to a realization or anything, but he is very decisive. He is making decisions, and these decisions could be based off of a decision that he made. It's kind of like he could be deciding, hey, I need to stop coming into relationships competitively. I need to start looking at them as more like building something, right? Which we see right here. Ten of Pentacles, really good card, one of my favorites for love. And he could be making that decision, and then he takes decisive action towards that thing. He starts saying, well, I'm going to try to find a person who wants to build a team, who wants to work together. And that's the Ten of Pentacles. I always say, to me, the Ten of Pentacles is the best love card in the deck. The Ten of Pentacles is everything you want in your life. A lot of people say, Chris, it's a pentacle card. It's not a love card. I'm always like, well, actually it is. There is a family that is here on this card. They have built a legacy. The Ten of Pentacles is about building something more than just a relationship. It's like building a family and also leaving a legacy. It's something much more significant and there you go, right there. So it's something much more significant than just kind of building a relationship. You are really building something that kind of more like leaves your mark. And I get that feeling for you here, Libra, where it's like you could be very focused on not just building like a relationship, but building something that leaves a mark on the universe. I know that sounds a little dramatic, but pretty good. Next, you have the Fool and the Leo here, or I should say the Lion on the Strength card. I do feel that some of you have dealt with a Leo. Some of you, I do feel could be a Leo coming in, but for some reason, just like intuitively, the words that want to come out of my mouth are that you have dealt with a Leo, meaning this is a person from the past. So, I know that Leo was like coming up for you for a while there over the past few months, and I do feel like some of you have kind of more dealt with that energy. Sorry, I forgot to turn off. I have to use my computer to control my camera and everything, and I forgot to turn off the notifications. I apologize, but anyway, Libra, I feel for a lot of you that this is like someone that you've dealt with in the past, and it's like you're more focused on something new. It's interesting to me how this is set up because the Fool, he's got that white rose behind him. The white rose in tarot, it represents more purity. It's kind of like a symbol for his intentions. He has pure intentions for the journey that he is about to go on. But I almost am seeing this as you kind of giving the rose to this person behind you here that is the strength card, if that makes sense. So if you have dealt with a Leo in the past, I feel like it's like you're kind of like facing in the future in this direction, and I feel like you're saying like, hey, I wish you the best, but I'm moving on, right? You're like going this direction. So I feel like you're kind of just ready for a new beginning, is what that's really saying. Maybe you're forgiving a past Leo, or maybe you're understanding where they're coming from and you're just moving forward here. That's kind of like the feeling I get here. For others, I do feel this could be something inside of you. She is taming that lion, and the lion is something inside of her. It is her, her inner demons, her anxieties, her depressions, what any type of feeling, right? Is that lion. But she has control over that lion. That lion is submitting to her. It has its tail between its legs. On the strength card, this represents the fact that, all the things inside of her are submitting to her. She has control over her thoughts and feelings. It's not the other way around. So I feel for a lot of you. Apparently, we're done with that card, but for a lot of you, it's like you're taking control of something inside of you, and that's probably why we have this beautiful Uncaging card. It's like you're opening up to more possibilities in love and other things in your life. So let's clarify this here, and let's see. With the Five of Swords, you have the Nine of Swords. Get out of your head for sure here, Libra. I feel like the Nine of Swords could be temporary situations. I think we all have this inside of us, especially in 2021 with Tinder and like all the other ones that people use, whatever. I think we always have like that fear that someone is going to go and find someone else, or because it's so easy, right? It's very easy to just go find another person, right? And I think that's one of the problems with modern dating. And, like I always say, because I have a tarot channel, I get recommended all these love videos. I could care less, right? I have a shit ton of Capricorn in my chart. I do not care about, I could give two whats about love in general. I've had plenty of relationships, but it's just not a focus for me, right? But it's funny because I watch a lot of those, these videos that come my way. And I always watch these videos of men saying all women leave, and then I watch these videos of all these women that say all men leave, and I'm like, I know it's everybody is who leaves, right? It's really everybody because because it's too easy. I think if something goes wrong in a relationship, for people to just be like, just go find someone else, right? Because of Tinder and things like that. So I think it's causing like this weird fear in the back of everybody's head. And I'm not saying, to me, it's totally legitimate, right? Because it could happen and there's no control over it. But what the funny thing is like the less, like I just personal experience, and this probably, I don't know if this is true or not, but like the less I care about what happens in a relationship, the longer it lasts. So I'm not saying you shouldn't care about the relationship, but it's just like the more, like I have just found over the years, if I try to lock someone down, try to hold them down, they run right away. If I'm just like, whatever, you want to leave, whatever, goodbye, then they stay, right? So I feel like it's more about, and I don't think that's how we should be looking at it either. Don't get me wrong, Libra. I think we should be saying, I think we should be, just kind of looking at something like. I don't know what I'm trying to say, Libra, but what I'm trying to say is, Esther Hicks has a thing, and she basically says, you can be good for me until you're not, or something like that. And I think that's a good way to look at relationships, because then you're not having like all these expectations of another person. But the reason I'm babbling on about this is because I feel like that's what's changing inside of you here is your expectations. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Emperor. Clearly, I feel you could be attracted. This person is not in your life yet, Libra. I don't think. For some of you, I would say if you're with a person who is very focused on, building like a legacy, or, and that could be anything. It could be like building a business, having a family, whatever, making their mark. If you're attracting that type of person into your life, then then I would say yes, you already know who this person is. But for a lot of you, I don't think you know who this person is yet. With the Fool, you have the star here. Yeah, I mean, I literally just feel this is saying that it's like a star, like a person coming into your life. I feel like it's going to be a rock star. And not like literally, but I just feel like the way they present themselves, the things they do, I feel like it's going to be someone who really wants to put in the work. I think the only thing, if I'm being honest, again, the only thing that can mess things up is this right here, the Five of Swords. With that Nine of Swords, I feel like that could be causing some, anxieties. So it's like that's something that needs to maybe be communicated about or worked on in general. Next, in your last row here, you have this Night Ride card. I'm just seeing this as some sort of change that is going on for you here. And I feel like the change is like how this person enters into your life. So, for some of you, it's like you could be meeting someone. Maybe you meet people in the club. Maybe you meet people out and about, whatever. There's like some sort of change that's coming in for you here. I also feel like there is a change like when this person enters into your life, this new person over here with the Emperor, I feel like it will cause positive changes in your life in general. And it's not because, I feel like it's not necessarily because of them, but I feel like it is kind of like because of them at the same time. You have the Knight of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Emperor. Like I said, I do get these changes that are happening in your life, but pretty much everybody has had these changes. To me, it's like, duh. I mean, if you look at the astrology, Neptune and Pisces, I don't care what anybody says. To me, Neptune and Pisces, like, literally, we will never have anything like that happens, like Neptune and Pisces, ever again in our entire lifetimes, right? I mean, the next time Neptune is in Pisces is going to be like 280 years or whatever it is. I don't know. So it's a ridiculous long period of time, but we will never like experience changes like this again. And Neptune leaves Pisces at the end of 2025, and as far as I'm concerned, again, I think it'll be a bit major, major breath of fresh air when Neptune finally leaves Pisces. At the same time, I feel like we can experience really positive changes. We can manifest the craziest freaking dreams we have ever had under Neptune and Pisces. But what I would say is that typically with this energy, kind of like what I feel intuitively is that the situations that we get ourselves in are going to cause deep change inside of us with Neptune and Pisces. That's what I see here. And I always say, like, is this a bad thing? Just looking at this row here, Knight of Swords here, the Four of Cups, and the Emperor. This is like hitting me as a person who like has a very solid plan on life. And with that Night Ride card, I feel that this person causes you to make changes in your life. And, I feel like you could say, is it a bad thing if you are with a person who makes you change? Kind of like we shouldn't be changing for people, but if you're with a person who causes positive change in your life, then is that such a bad thing? Probably not. But I kind of get these changes here in general. You have the Knight of Swords, the Four of Cups, and the Emperor here. Like I said, this is some sort of change here. You almost don't believe it, is what I would say with this Four of Cups here. So I feel if you're like attracting love or looking for love, the Four of Cups could be saying that either you almost don't believe it or you don't believe it, that that love can be coming in for you like this. So I do feel like this is like a very solid connection that's coming in for you. With the Knight of Swords, you have the Wheel of Fortune here. Definitely, like this is a very lucky situation that's coming in for you as far as love is concerned. The Wheel of Fortune is some sort of change, like I've been saying this whole entire time. I feel like there is a significant change that is happening in love. And again, I feel like it will be a positive change for the most part. With the Four of Cups, you have the Two of Wands. What were we talking about with the Two of Wands here? We were talking about the world that he has in his hands. He kind of is looking at that world with a little bit of sadness. He's like holding on to the wand in front of him. He's looking at that world, but he's standing at the top of a castle. It's like, he is kind of looking at that world with envy. He is maybe thinking about past journeys, past experiences that he has had. And he's like saying to himself, I'll never be able to have those experiences again. But he's looking at things the wrong way. I consider the Two Wands to be a positive card, but you can read the Two Wands like that. And that's what I feel for you. And he's not really missing out. He could easily leave the castle. He could take the lead, which the Two Wands is all about. It's all about kind of taking the lead, leaving the castle, and going and having new experiences, kind of like making it happen. So any experience that you want to have in love, I would go make it happen. And with the Emperor here, you have the Two of Cups. What do you know? Soulmates, coming from two very different worlds, by the way. The Two of Cups, both people, they are meant to look very, very different. They are meant to look like two very different people. Like one person looks very formal, the other person looks like a little bit more kind of like, more free, like kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Just like kind of like more go with the flow type of energy. They're kind of not formal. I don't know what the word I was looking for is, but it's like they're meant to look very different. And I feel like you could be attracting someone who is very different. It's crazy because like when I did the last quarter readings for this year, the two cups kept coming up, and I was like, man, like what is going on with love that people are attracting someone different? But I think it's kind of just like people's last straw, if that makes sense, Libra. I feel like most people are just like, well, what I've been doing hasn't been working, so it's like I'm gonna try something totally different. And I kind of get that feeling for you, but this is a really good reading, Libra. I really like this a lot. Very powerful. So thank you for being here, Libra. I really appreciate it. I'm choking. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.